Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All. We are getting very close to the end. I would not be surprised if the next episode is going to be the end. But nevertheless, we're going to continue on as if it's not near the end yet. Just to keep up my energy levels here. And we're going to continue talking to de Killer via two-way radio. Oh boy. As I have already stated quite a few times, Adrian Andrews is my client. However, one thing I simply cannot overlook is tampering with the scene of the crime. My client did it to frame another for the crime. While pretending to be the first person to discover the body and enter the scene, Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning that Juan Corrida was dead. But even more appalling is the creation and planting of the knife and button. That act is what I was referring to when I said my client had broken the rules. This is the most unexpected turn of events for the... what is it now, the fifth time? However, this time everything has finally been revealed. Just a second, Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth. We still have the cross-examination to do. But you don't need to question testimony like this. Do you, Mr. Wright? Your Honor, the defense will question the witness. As if I have a choice here. What? But why? What this witness has said is nothing but beneficial to the defense's case. If you scrutinize the testimony, then I'll expose the lies in that oh-so-beneficial testimony, I suppose. I don't understand what's going on anymore. Well, that makes two of us, Your Honor. Yeah, it seems so contradictory to scrutinize a testimony that is nothing but beneficial to our case. Except that we know he's lying. Ugh. As I have already stated quite a few times, Adrian Andrews is my client. However... What is it, Mr. Wright? If I press him the wrong way, it might raise suspicions on his end. But I have to do something to waste more time. Witness, about requesting a hit. Yes? How much is your fee? Ah, I see you are also quite a dark-hearted man, Mr. Attorney. Huh? If you would like to talk business, we can do so after the trial. No, I'm not gonna get Mr. Wright! Yes? You want to kill me? You want me dead, don't you? What? Why would you think something like that, Your Honor? Guilty! Mr. Phoenix Wright! You are hereby declared guilty! Witness, let's continue. Why did you disclose the name of your client? They are your client, are they not? One thing I simply cannot overlook is tampering with the scene of the crime. I would think that most people wouldn't be able to overlook a person hiring another to kill. If I had a problem with such a thing, I wouldn't be very effective at my job, now would I? I guess. Well, a change in occupation might be good for you. However, I will say this. Even though I am the one that does the deed, my clients are always the real guilty party. That goes without saying, Mr. de Killer. And their fate is to live with the knowledge of their guilt on their shoulders. However, my client this time thought that they could run away from their guilt. My client did it to frame another for the crime. Are you talking about the button and the knife? Oh dear. Yes, and my business card. Oh, this card. So that no one has to waste their time, including the police, I always make it a point to make things as easy as possible. You tried to make things easy? My business card makes it very easy to identify who carried out the service. He's pretty devoted to his work. But to disregard everything, to go and stab the deceased with a knife, and even hide my card from sight, that is something I cannot overlook. It's really hard to tell if he's being truthful or not without him being here. While pretending to be the first person to discover the body and enter the scene... So, are you saying most clients wouldn't do such a thing? Oh my god. Keep pressing the wrong button. That is correct. Usually most people try to create an alibi for themselves. If you should use my services, Mr. Attorney, I would suggest you plan for your alibi too. No. I already told you I have no intention of using your services. Ever! And why does he keep looking at me like I'm the one on trial here? Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning that Juan Corrida was dead. From the very beginning. That is correct. From before my client visited the room. All of my clients know precisely what the situation is at all times. I wonder if that's really true. That's odd. Huh? But even more appalling is the creation and planting of the knife and button. So why do you think your client did that? Oh, what do you mean by why? Well, fiddling around at the scene of the crime is pretty risky. And why would someone who has requested a murder go to the crime scene anyway? That is true. Well, I assume it was probably done to frame Mr. Ungard. Well, if that's the case, then why didn't the person just request that you do it? Sadly, that is not possible. Huh? My job is to kill. That is all. And to leave my business card behind, naturally. The business card is so my clients may escape blame. To protect them is my duty. Even if they say it's for revenge, setting someone else up to take your fall. Oh, that act is what I was referring to when I said my client had broken the rules. And that's all you have to testify. I don't know why the game is like laggy every now and then, but I am sorry. Yes, and I pray that I will never be called to the stand again. Again? As in you plan to continue? Well, I must, as I have yet to find a person to take my place and become the fourth successor. Actually, how would you like a new life, Mr. Attorney? Excuse me? No, I'm fine, really. Are you really now? I wonder what kind of man the judge thinks I am now. What are you going to do now, Phoenix? All I can do now is expose the lies. That's true. However, you realize that will be very bad for our client, right? I'm so confused. But the one thing I know for sure is I can't let this trial end yet. Well, I already have an idea where the problem is. Right here. Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning that Juan Corrida was dead. If we're to believe Adrian's testimony, which we do, we actually really do, she did not believe that Juan Corrida was dead, because remember, she poured this bottle of juice for Juan, thinking that he simply passed out from anger at losing the, hero of heroes. This wine glass should not exist, even if... I was gonna say even if she was the killer, but then they probably come up with the idea that, oh, she pretended to be the, shocked discoverer of the body. But regardless, we believe Adrian Andrews, we really do. She's not the murderer. She did not hire the killer. So this wine glass should not exist if she was the killer. Thank you so much for taking the time to testify, Mr. de Killer. What is the meaning of that attitude? When Adrian Andrews entered the victim's room, your client had no idea Juan Corrida had been murdered. But how do you know that, Mr. Wright? From this wine glass, Your Honor. The glass. Mr. de Killer's supposed client thought Mr. Corrida had only fainted, which is why this glass of tomato juice was poured for the victim. But isn't that just a part of Adrian Andrews' calculated plan? That is not possible, Your Honor. This glass bears the fingerprints of that person. Had this been planned, they would have never left their fingerprints behind. I see your point. Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion? Strangely enough, I had the same exact thought just now. Witness, how do you explain this strange phenomenon? Well, isn't it a waste of time to ask about such a minor detail? It's not a very important point anyway, correct? Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know why the game is so... It's not even an emulation. This is a Steam game. I don't know why it's like laggy. There's not even like a crap ton of things in the screen. It's literally the background, the person, and the text and music. I don't know why it's lagging to high heaven. Thank God this game's almost over. I'm afraid you're mistaken. If Adrian Andrews really is your client as you so claim, then your client should have had knowledge of Mr. Corrida's death. If not, then that can only mean Adrian Andrews was never your client at all. How strange. Yes? Why is it that the attorney has yet to raise an objection at this absurd situation? Phoenix, if the killer figures out what we're up to, we're in real trouble. Yeah, I know. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm surprised. You know you can't say things like that without any evidence. Ah, sorry. Well, that was an awfully weak objection for the two of you. Anyway, I am positive that there was a contradiction in that testimony. The prosecution requests further testimony concerning when the request was taken. Very well. Right now, I have to buy us more time. While we wait for the items the killer left behind to get here. Just know that the very outcome of this trial lies with those items. Well, the very outcome of my videos lies on the fact that it keeps lagging every now and then. I notice it keeps lagging every time it changes positions or sprites. Every now and then, and I don't know why. All of a sudden it's been happening for the past few episodes, and I don't know why. Either there's something wrong with the game, or there's something wrong with my computer. Either way, I will figure this out when this game is over, because I know it's almost over. I remember that much. This request came to me, about a week ago. It was a request for my services on the night of the awards ceremony. We met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters. That's what occurred. I trust my memory, and I believe I have made no mistakes. So you physically met your client, huh? That is correct. Meeting one's client is the first step to building trust, in my opinion. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Lie after lie. We're playing a very dangerous game, I'm telling you. This request came to me, about a week ago. 1 week ago. Are you sure? Yes, I am quite sure. I, of course, had my own preparations, and I was barely able to finish. When you request my services, Mr. Attorney, I hope you will keep that in mind. Please stop. In any case, my client this time had a very specific date and time in mind. A specific date and time? It was a request for my services on the night of the awards ceremony. Did you ask why on that specific night? No. I tried to fulfill all the conditions of my client's request. But as for why, I only had my suspicions. Your suspicions, huh? We need to waste more time. So, what are these suspicions that you had? Why did your client request that particular night? I was sure it's all for the bear. Oh my god. The bear? My client spoke of it. I'm sure there will be a bear-shaped figurine in Juan Corrida's room. I would like you to retrieve that item for me. He must be talking about this bear puzzle. Inside that figurine was a suicide note. Naturally, the victim brought it with him to his hotel room. He was planning to publicly disclose its contents at the press conference, after all. That is correct. And if I had not done the job that night, I would not have known where that bear figurine was. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance? Well, it does give us an idea of why that particular night. The testimony just now has made one thing clear, and that is... this client knew the secret of the bear figurine. Huh? Why is everyone so quiet? Mr. Wright, I think all of us already knew that. Oh, really? Witness, please continue with your testimony. God dang it. We met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters. So you physically met Adrian Andrews, right? Of course I did. What was that? What's with the brief pause? You're lying. Why did you just pause there? Witness, I would like for you to give us a few more details. I always meet my clients as a matter of principle. I have never taken a request by telephone or mail. And why is that? That's because I value the trust between a client and myself above all else. And the only way to establish this is to speak to the client while looking them in the eye. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance? Yes. I was thinking so hard there. Of course it's very important, Your Honor. If Mr. de Killer had met his client before the murder, then it's unlikely he's mistaken. So you're saying that his client really was Adrian Andrews? God damn it. I guess so. You see, it's just as I said. I'm so lost. Who the heck am I supposed to be helping here? Calm down, Phoenix. Think carefully and relax. Now then, would the witness please continue? My God. That is what occurred. I trust my memory, and I believe I have made no mistakes. So, your client was Adrian Andrews? That is correct. Well, he says the two of them met, but if they did, then there shouldn't be anything wrong with de Killer's testimony. Well, there doesn't seem to be anything strange this time around. You have to draw more information from him, but you also can't draw his suspicion. If you can do that, you should be able to find a flaw in his testimony somewhere. Talk about a delicate balance. There was a request for my services on the night of the awards ceremony. Let me ask this again. Let me try and figure out. Did you ask why? No, I didn't ask. As for why, I only had my suspicions. I want to press. So what are these suspicions you had? Why did your client request that night? Sure, it was all for the bear. My client spoke of the bear. Bear figurine I would like to retrieve. Must be talking inside a suicide note. Naturally, he was planning. That is correct. Well, a thought just came to me, and if it is, then this is rather very subtle. The question we asked when we pressed was, why did your client request that night? All he did technically was provide a speculation as to why. Said, I'm sure it was all for the bear. He never said his client specifically said, go for the bear. So, if we're under that assumption, he did not exactly answer the question. Although that would be stupid subtle. What de Killer said sounds plausible, but... in the end, it's all just his conjecture. No, Your Honor. I don't think it's very important. Well then, witness, please continue. Oh, okay, well, yeah, I was right, it was just conjecture, but it didn't help. How about this one? Because this one was the other one. Met at the bar to discuss a few matters. So you physically met Adrian Andrews. Of course I did. What's with the pause? We pressed this because he hesitated. Witness, I would like for you to give us a few more details about whether or not he met his clients. About whether or not he met Adrian Andrews. I always meet my clients as a matter of principle. I have never taken a request by telephone or mail. Why is that? That's because I value the trust between the client and myself above all else. Only way to establish that is to speak to the client while looking them in the eye. Oh, okay. Well, okay, let's think about this. The main thing that we pressed him on was his hesitation of whether or not he met Adrian Andrews. So if we're going to go the route of stupid subtle hints, he did not exactly answer the question of, did he really meet Adrian Andrews when we asked for clarification. All he did was give us the runaround saying, I never go by telephone or email. I always meet them in person, look them straight in the eye. You kinda gave us the runaround there, mister. What you just said was not important. Why he meets his clients is not important, and that wasn't the point. Witness, please stop sidestepping my questions. What do you mean by that? My question was, did you really meet Adrian Andrews in person? I have already told you, Mr. Wright. I did. It was only through talking with him face to face that I began to trust him. That's when I thought, I can trust this person as a client. It's true what they say about talking face to face. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance? Well, for those of you who did not notice that, I'm sorry, but you should be paying more attention. That testimony was very important. If I heard what I think I heard just now, then I think I've got him. Your Honor, I believe the testimony just now was of the utmost importance. Huh? Really? If that's the case, witness, please include the statement just now in your testimony. Very well. From the moment I saw him, I thought I can trust this person as a client. Except for one thing. You never met him. Because in your version of things, Adrian Andrews is a fictional person. Because last I checked, Adrian Andrews is a woman. And are you going to tell us now that you are a blind assassin? Hello? There we go. I would like to go over this one more time. You met Adrian Andrews at a bar and took the request at that time. Yes, that is correct. And that's when you thought he was trustworthy. How many times must I repeat myself, Mr. Attorney? Yes, that is correct. I'm sorry, but that's an impossible tale. What? Shelly de Killer. You have never met the real Adrian Andrews. Why would you say that? Because you made one very big slip-up about her. So what then is the issue? Wait, what did you just say now? About her? If you had ever met Adrian Andrews in person, one look would have told you that she is a woman. Oh! Order! Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this? This witness testified to the following, that he always meets face-to-face with his clients when taking their request. But he has never met Adrian Andrews in person. Yes, Your Honor, that is exactly the point. That means Mr. de Killer's client could not have been Miss Adrian Andrews. Mr. Edgeworth, I understand your logic on this one. However, why would the assassin make such a basic mistake? I believe it has to do with her name, Your Honor. Her name? Yes, Adrian Andrews is, without a doubt, a very androgynous name. Yes, I see. Unluckily for Mr. de Killer, the entire time he was on the stand, No one had stated Adrian Andrews' gender, and so he simply picked the wrong gender to go with. What? What is going on? Shelly de Killer! This court demands an explanation. I think somehow I must have mixed up this client with another. So does that mean you remember something different now? Yes, of course. Please, if you would allow me to testify once more. I know he's just gonna spit out more lies. Very well, but this time, please give us the truth and nothing but the truth. Yes, nothing but the truth, so help you God. Unfortunately, we have to do that in the next episode because I need a drink of water again. Every time I talk nonstop for half an hour and then like switch voices from deep to to regular, it kills my voice. It really does. Anyway, I'll see you on the next one. Later.